Caddis Maximus here. Want to do a quick review of this Amazon Basics USB cable. There's a few reviews on Amazon, but they don't really give you much information, surprisingly enough. So I wanted to give a couple tips and talk about it. One is it is one of the cheaper USB cables. It seems whenever you want a USB cable, they're always charging $10, $15, $20 at the store. They're just outrageous. And they never seem to advertise their capabilities, just like this Amazon one. This Amazon one, I think I only paid like $8 or $9 for, and this is a 10-footer. That's my first tip. The pricing on these is based on sales. Most people buy 3 and 6 foot cables. So while I was clicking through the sizes, they did have this 3-meter cable, this 10-foot cable. The 10-foot cable was cheaper than the 3-foot cable just due to sales volume. So I actually bought. I mean, it's nonsensical. You get more wire for less money. I wish everything worked that way. They don't have any information about wire gauge or whether or not it's quick charge compatible. Fortunately, at least on this USB-C to USB micro one, it is indeed quick charge compatible. I verified this at least up to 12 volts at 2 amps, so 24 watt, which is something that was pleasing. I had no idea whether or not it was just kind of a chance, but less for only $10 wasn't a big deal. They do double braid it, which I do like, and it definitely has some thicker wire. That's one of the issues with this cable I'd have to mention is it's reasonably flexible, but it's definitely not spaghetti noodle flexible. Other issues is they do have a strain relief here, but it is rock hard. It's not a strain relief. It's just something where the cable goes in. Strain reliefs actually flex, and so instead of having a kink right where it's stiff, they're supposed to curve and make the cable have a nice curve to prevent fatiguing. These are not flexible. This is hard plastic, just injection molded plastic with the aluminum sleeve pressed over it. And so this cable will get kinked right there and fatigue right there. So you'll have to be careful of that. And then the last issue I had was the fact that even though the plugs work, they're using like book standard lengths. And we can see that cable is like right up to the surface on both ends. And so it won't work with any type of phone case because the diameter of these plugs here is huge. Here's an example, like on this USB micro side, there's an example of a really compact USB micro, and we can see how big this is. So that definitely won't fit in many types of orifices, such as phone cases and anything where the USB plug actually is inset into any type of recess. Because the length is just, the book length, there isn't any extra length whatsoever there. You're going to have some real device compatibility issues. So, unfortunately with these Amazon Basics products, what's crazy to me is how corporations with the size and resources like Amazon and all these come out with these products, and there's just so little effort. There's no testing, no information that it's quick charge compatible or not. People who grab these and get the sample units from the Chinese manufacturer, they just say, oh, that looks like a nice cable. They don't have any knowledge about strain reliefs. They don't actually try to plug it into various devices and say, hey, wait a minute, this is a little bit bigger around and maybe the connector could be a little bit longer. Someday if I ever get on anywhere on YouTube, those are the kind of things I want to do, is start businesses where I make things, or at least, provide better information selling this stuff. It's just so weird that you have such a big company and it's just like that, and the fact that it comes in this big old cardboard box. This seems like an unnecessary amount of packaging for a wire. And I wonder how much you're paying for this big cardboard box. And if we look at this nice shiny sticker, that's a plasticized label. That's also extra money. So anyway, that's the review of this cable. I like it. I like its build quality. Too bad you have to be real careful with the ends because it's gonna fatigue the cable, and it's not going to fit many places. But for less than $1 a foot shipped, for a quick charge compatible cable, kind of hard to find a lot of products like this that are going to compete at least in that price range. Because I was looking around and I was actually kind of surprised. It almost seems like Amazon sells some of these products at either at cost or even, I don't know if they're selling below cost, but very little margin on some of these items. It almost seems so they can make their Amazon Basics compete with the rest of their own Amazon sellers. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.